What is going on, my YouTube friends, all my Patreon friends, my Karen Clark Sheard friends, right? Make sure I get the name right. Our friend Caleb sent me a Patreon request for Make a Way off the Still Karen record. And I'm not going to lie, y'all. I'm not going to lie. I put this record on the other day at work to listen to the first couple that I've actually reacted to already. And I almost let it play. I'm glad I didn't, though, because I do want to react. It's really good. It's really, really, really good. So I'm going to have the link to this. I'm going to have the link to Karen's YouTube channel, to this video on her channel in the description box. I would really appreciate if y'all are giving her another view, showing her some support. And I obviously appreciate the request. I appreciate the long-term support, my friend. If y'all want to send any requests or anything, the Patreon link's in the description box. You can come join over there. I've got a Discord if y'all want to keep the conversation going. And let's do this, y'all. Let's break this down.
What if I told you that your worst days would turn into your best days, that your ladder would be greater? What if I told you that? What if I told you that your sorrows and your tears would turn back into joy, and one day you'll be smiling again? What if I told you that the ones who tried to stop you, they lied and tried to block you? They're silly, they're just wasting their time. What if I told you God was sending you a sign to hold on? Here it is, turn it up, it's a song.
Drums are wild, y'all. Y'all kidding me? Right from that intro. And I'm sure she could have written this on top of more chords and more of a structured section, but just having just those bass notes, this melody on top of it is wild, y'all. How do you come up with that? How do you come up with that? The little, you hear that pickup, bow, 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 bow. I didn't catch that the first time.
What if I told you that your worst days would turn into your best days, that your ladder would be greater? What if I told you that?
808 is crazy.
Your sorrows and your tears would turn back into joy, and one day you'll be smiling again. What if I told you that the ones who tried to stop you, they lied and tried to block you? They're silly, they're just wasting their time. What if I told you God was sending you a sign to hold on? Here it is, turn it up, it's a song. All I know is my God don't play about me. He makes sure that I have everything that I need. It ain't nothing I deserve, he just favors me. He gets all the glory and he's in me here to tell you, stop worrying.
That's wild, y'all. Floor tom. Ah, man, that's tough. That's tough. I want to see this live.
He gets all the glory and he's in me here to tell you, stop worrying about how it's gonna work out. He did not create you to figure it out. Just trust that at the end of the day, God's gonna make a way. Some way, somehow, it's a part of his plan. He's got you safely in the palm of his hand. Just trust that at the end of the day, God's gonna make a way.
That walk was tough. That trumpet on there, I think it was far left as well. You know what I'm really shocked by? I'm watching the VU meter, the actual audio meter of the thing, and it's nothing fancy. It's just showing how loud it is, so it's not distorting for y'all at home. But how low her vocal actually sits and how loud this mix actually is super impressive. And this is something that I'm working on right now. So Ben Death told me that you got to find space for the vocal. And what I used to think that meant was you carve out sections of the EQ and all the other instruments that kind of sit in that vocal range. So maybe snare drum a little bit, maybe your guitars, your horns, or keyboards in this case. Anything in that kind of high mid section, right? But that's wrong. You don't want to just carve things away in anticipation of a vocal sitting there. So what we've been doing is we add something called sample delay or mixer delay, and you can scoot things back. So she would have recorded this to a metronome, right? And then you can move that back in a matter of samples. We're talking quicker than what your ear can really process from a timing perspective. But what it does is it moves the transient off the other transient. So you have this big snare drum, you have these horn sections, you've got guitars assumedly keyboards, stuff like that, and then your vocal, everything's just sitting right on top of that metronome, right? So if you just scoot the vocal back, and now it's a response thing, if you were live singing with your band, not a click track, you'd be responding to your band, which has tad bit of, like a little bit of latency. You could be singing on time, but you're still responding to things instead of anticipating things with a metronome, right? So I wonder if they're doing something like that. Very, very curious, because like I don't know how to describe it. The vocal on like my little meter here is like, and this is arbitrary, right? It's sitting at like -20 into like -15, but the whole track itself is sitting at like -10, -8 kind of section. So like I'm amazed at how clear and how like well her vocal stands out without it seeming like they were just carving and taking out from this band, because the band track is huge, y'all. Like
that your ladder would be greater. What if I told you that? What if I told you that? What if I told you that? Your sorrows and your tears will turn back to joy. You'll be smiling. What if I told you that? The ones who tried to stop you, that lied and tried to block you, are sitting there just wasting their time. What if I told you God was sending you a sign to hold on? Turn it up. It's a song.
You follow all that, toms and everything getting in the way. So you've got your mono channel, it's got like kick, snare in it, right? And all the lead vocal, everything else is kind of pushed like pretty hard left and right, like quite far panned to the left and right. And you can use things like stereo enhancers to like push things even further. Like in my mastering and like some of my mixing and stuff on my main channel, I'll do up to like 168% instead of just 100% left to right, right? So you can push things quite wide, and that'll get it out of the way of your main vocal, which is in the mono strip. But there's a lot in there, y'all. The toms walk through there, kick and snare are like way up top, and that vocal is so clear. Go. Like, call and answer section is wild too. Like I think it started off with like the answer, we'll call it. So like the choir kind of spread real far left and right, like I was saying before, and then Karen right dead smack in the middle, right? It actually feels like the snare drum's a little bit like above her when it comes to like the like mixed positioning. But anyway, that doesn't really matter. I love that whole section was stunning. It reminds me a lot of the live videos that we do watch from like all the different churches and buildings and events and stuff like that. This outro section here reminds me a lot of that. We got a minute left. Wow. Yeah, right. I said, yeah, right, as to me mouthing along with the run. Like, I can't do that. There's no chance. fire, y'all. Fire. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. That one was a vibe, though. Like a vibe. And like I say, man, this mix was tough. This mix was tough. Who mixed this one? Was it her husband, were y'all telling me? Produced by producers associated. Yeah, J. Drew Sheard the second. So is that her kid? I'm sorry, y'all have told me probably 1,000 times, and I'm really bad with names. But super impressive, y'all. Very, very, very impressive. Like I say, that's a hard feat to accomplish when it comes to mixing. And like, it doesn't matter how good of a vocalist you are. It doesn't matter how good all your musicians are. Like once you have all those like waveforms stacked into a huge session to like build and give us like such a big production like that, like you're basically looking for spots where there's either like sounds and frequencies phasing each other or like transients stepping on each other. Like this is what you're managing now, right? And yeah, they did a great job of this. They did a great job of this. I appreciate this one. It's a great request. I'm going to have the link to this in the description box. I would love if y'all are giving Karen another view. And like I say, if you want to send me any requests like Caleb did, then the links are in the description box too. And we'll see you on the next one.